You may have the right to remain silent, but do you have the ability? We're going to talk about crazy things people say that get them in more trouble in just a minute with noted criminal defense attorney Tom Grieve. But first, we have a gun giveaway. It's going on right now. You can enter absolutely free, but it ends really soon. So click the link in the description down below to reveal which brand new gun you could win. Tom, I've heard some crazy stuff. All of my cop friends had heard some crazy stuff. The one we just hate is I know my rights. I'm trying to protect those rights in most cases. But yeah, you have the right to remain silent. Sometimes you don't have the ability. And of course, anything you say, nowadays it's going to show up on body cam and make it onto the internet. Heard anything crazy or any advice for people when they're dealing with, a guy like me with a crazy haircut and a bad attitude?
Look, your rights exist for a reason. That's for darn sure. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between raising your right to silence and raising your right to an attorney. Raising your right to an attorney is far better than raising your right to silence. Yeah, I've heard a thing or two over the years.
I can imagine. What do you got, 1,000 clients a year?
We have quite a bit. We're the large. Well, between all the wings of our firm, we've got about 20 some odd attorneys, and some of whom, just like myself, are also former state prosecutors. So even though in the scheme of attorneys we're not old as dirt, we've got a lot of mileage. Mm-hmm. Is just the truth to it.
So you get all the reports, right? When in the defense phase, you're like, oh, let's read the police report,
right?
And I have been instructed to put the words exactly as I heard them into the police report. So I don't know if this is a family show or not. I'm tapping on the window of the car, and the man hollers to me, "Get out of here! I'm getting laid." That's what we call a clue because he was in a parking lot. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
That's clue. That's reasonable suspicion now.
Yeah.
If you didn't have it before, you do now.
Yeah.
So, just generically, I guess, to kind of start there.
Yeah, we don't want you to give away, attorney-client privilege.
Can't give away the farm. Yeah, the state bar gets understandably protective about that. So, generically, I would say that about the worst or stupidest things you could say to a cop is exactly where you started. And that's a great place for me to start too. The people who, cops are trained to take control over the situation, and you are going to be a piece on their board, and they're going to walk you through this, whatever the investigation, whatever the interaction may be. People who try to reverse those roles and to try to take command of whatever's going on, that rarely ends well for them, particularly when they start yelling, particularly when they start swearing. Yeah, that just doesn't end too well for them. Yep. And I'm actually just seeing like body camera footage just scroll across the inside of my eyes as I'm picturing these. So, people, and it doesn't matter where they're coming from on that. It doesn't matter if they are doing that from a place of, well, I know my rights, but they're saying it in kind of a loud, aggressive, abrasive fashion. I've seen people talk down to cops, make a lot of, frankly, just very pejorative comments about, you're out in your street, I'm in an office, or like, do you even have a degree? I'm superior to you is one thing I recall seeing as part of a case.
It seems rather polite. I'm superior to you.
Yeah. It was a weird flex.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for him in the end.
So those actual words, I'm superior to you, because I would love to hear something that polite when it comes to an insult on the street.
He said it very politely.
Oh, okay.
Give him credit for that. Surprisingly, didn't go over well.
Yeah.
Didn't end well.
Yeah.
What were the odds?
Imagine that.
And that was from somebody who had a very prestigious, well-earning position. Look, at the end of the day, it's and you know this as an officer, and I know this as somebody in the justice system, and as well as having any number of friends who are cops too. Officers, when they are interacting with you, will create a lie. Maybe the lie happens to be true, but for our purposes and for their purposes, they're going to construct a reality, and then they're going to invite you to participate in that reality. And it goes something like this. Sir, I know you're a good guy. I can just tell you're a good guy, right? And I really appreciate how cooperative you're going with me on this. And as long as you keep being cooperative with me, I'll keep being cooperative with you. I just have a job to do here. We're going to get through this together. I'm going to do my best to put in a good word and make sure this ends as well as it can, right? And I'm not saying that in and of itself is a lie, because that's mostly true, right? If you play nice with them, they will play nice with you, provided that you're playing. Now, maybe they're trying to tease some sort of confession out of you, and as long as you're confessing, they'll keep being nice and bringing you cans of Coke.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm going to get that.
Absolutely.
The consent search or the confession.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So things obviously may go a little bit different if you raise your right to an attorney, if you raise your right to silence, if you stop responding to questions, if you're not consenting to searches, and they can really go off the rails if you start lying about things, which there's a world of difference between raising your right in a polite, respectful, but firm manner, raising it in a disrespectful, asinine manner, right? And then just being somewhere on the jerk spectrum, which may just be, you know what, you're just a crass. Again, I don't know how much of a family show we're running here, but you're just an a-hole is just what it is. Which, you're failing the attitude test, as we like to say in the justice system, i.e., whatever this officer could get you on, they're going to just go for the whole farm now, right? Yeah. And then people who are just lying, because every officer I know has just been lied to and lied. Like you're dealing with one of the world's biggest cynics once you're dealing with a cop who's been on the job for a couple years. Yeah. So there's a really good chance, particularly if they've got some stripes in their uniform, that they're probably pretty good at detecting BS. They're not going to buy your BS. Now, they may play along and pretend like they are, but they probably don't, and you're probably making yourself a lot worse for yourself.
And the way it works and the way we're trained and talk, if someone's talking, keep them talking, keep engaging with them. And speaking as the editor of Concealed Carry Magazine, I'll look right at the camera, don't talk to the police. Speaking as a police officer, tell me what happened. Right. I really need to know. And this is your one chance, because it's going to get worse after this. So make it easy on yourself, and being as friendly as possible, and chatting, and trying to pick out little pieces and then reconnect them and come back around. Tell me again. I forgot what you said the first time. And again, looking right at the camera, don't talk to the police. Raise your rights. You do know them, but you don't have to scream them at the top of your lungs.
So we run a pretty large radio campaign, have been doing it for years and years and years. And among things in the radio campaign is we remind people, don't talk, raise your right, so on and so forth. I can't tell you how many cops I know, either personally or just professionally, and we'll chit chat on occasion, where they'll laugh about the fact that, they're cuffing and stuffing someone in the back seat. And the guy, it's usually a guy, the guy who's being arrested will reference like, oh, I should have listened to that lawyer's ad. And they're like, yeah, you should have, but here we go. Watch your head. It's absolutely true. People have an instinct to self-justify, to explain things away. It's just part of our self-preservation. But the reality is the fact that it doesn't matter how smart you are, right? I don't care if you have a Michael Jordan IQ, right? When you are interacting with a law enforcement officer, let's just take this to athletics now, right? Let's say that you are an amazing doctor, right? Just someone easy to pick on, right? You're an amazing brain surgeon or whatever the case may be, right? Great. And you've got an IQ that's 150, genius level, you name it, that's fine. Great. So you're playing tennis all day in this game that we call doctoring. That's fantastic. But now we're going to do some ice hockey. And you've never put on skates before, and you're going to take on a guy who plays in the pros. Yeah. How do you think that's going to end up for you? I don't care if you are legitimately a 10 times better athlete than whoever it is that happened to pull you over or be interacting with you. Doesn't matter. At a certain point, just the fact that this officer is so much more skilled and experienced, it doesn't matter. You're going to lose that game. The only way to win is not to play.
Yeah, it is a completely different game. And at that moment, whether you did it or didn't do it, don't talk to the police. Get your attorney to talk to the police, because that's what we pay you for, and you're really good at it.
Hopefully.
Well, yeah. You wouldn't be doing it still if you weren't really good at it. Right. So thank you again for all your insight. This was actually a fun one. I didn't know where it was going to go when we started, but truly appreciate your help on all this. Folks, thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video. Quick reminder again, we have that gun giveaway going on. It ends really soon. So click the link below and find out which brand new gun you could win. I'm Kevin Michalowski, Director of Content for the U.S. Concealed Carry Association. If you like videos like this, please share them with everyone you know. Click that like button. Click the notification bell. We'll notify you every time we come out with something new. Stay safe. We'll see you in the next video.